Yeah, we are going to start right away. I think from previous experience, we know that people join as the meeting continues. Yeah, so welcome everybody once again. It's another edition of our webinar series. And yeah, first of all, I would introduce all of us to Justice, and then Justice can tell us more about himself, his research, and then we can begin to ask him questions about the things we we want to know from him. So yeah, so Justice, we are ArcBio, and currently we are on the ArcBio internship. We are during this internship we are learning different bioinformatics skills. So we're a community of bioinformatics learners. We try to learn through practice. We don't learn through theory or sitting down in classroom. We try to learn through practice and actual scientific projects. So but then, after learning all the bioinformatics skills in the world, what do you do with it, right? We also try to um, advance ourselves by moving on to the next step of our career. We use these bioinformatics skills to become attractive to employers, or to become attractive to professors and principal investigators around the world, so that they can recruit us, right? And yeah, we've been having very good reports so far. So, one of the things we also do is to bring amazing people, amazing talents like yourself on board to advise younger scientists and younger generations, to advise us as a community of learners, right? And tell us some of the things that are happening out there that we probably don't know, and tell us some of the things that are unique. Especially for you, we want you to expose us to some of the uh, uh, how do I call it? Excellent universities in South Africa, especially. We are from one of them, that's Stellenbosch, if I pronounce it right. There's UCT, also there's UJ, so and these universities are not just small universities, they are amongst the top 1,000 in the world. So we are really interested in learning about them. What's the dynamics of application for this kind of universities? How can we as a community of learners get into these universities, for example? Also, we would like to know about it because I can see from your profile that you are a very uh, accomplished person in terms of AMR and genomic epidemiology of Mycobacterium tuberculosis. But yeah, maybe we could also learn from just what you know about the landscape of career opportunities in AMR, genomic epidemiology, and this kind of things. So yeah, we are really, really happy to meet you and know more about you. So the webinar would be mostly ask me anything. So there are some set of questions that I have already. Um, but then people still, as you are talking, you probably inspire more questions in people. So I would ask, and then more questions can come about. So guys, if you have questions for Justice as he speaks, or even before he starts speaking, you can already start putting it on the uh, chat here on Zoom. Also, before I hand over the mic to you, it would be nice if the participants on the call can tell us where they are calling from, where they are joining the call from. For example, I am Nigerian, but I'm joining from Germany, so you can uh, follow suit, guys. Yeah, so I'll hand over the microphone now to Justice, and then he tells us about himself, about his research journey so far, and then we can start shooting our questions at him.
Okay, thank you very much
You're
for to
welcome.
welcome me. Um, Greeting for all of you participants. My name is NGOM Justice Tressor. I'm Cameroonian. Specifically, I'm coming from a French-speaking side,
Ah,
and
nice.
my town is Douala. Douala is a
Ah,
coastal town, just a economic capital of
yeah, yeah,
Cameroon.
because I know it's one of the capitals. Yeah.
Yeah, so um, who is Justice? Maybe I should start on what I did in undergraduate.
Mhm.
Um, I did in I got a bachelor degree in biochemistry, so and molecular biology. I know cycle Krebs and Western blot, Southern blot, so all the stuff that people in biochemistry are doing.
Mhm.
And then I also got a Master of Science in molecular biology, where after that, I also did another master's, which is a master research in molecular biology, where
Wow.
I
Dual
started,
masters.
yeah, so where I started working um, specifically on infectious disease. And my topic was molecular epidemiology or molecular characterization of strains responsible to extrapulmonary tuberculosis in Cameroon. But before that, during my training as in the masters, I did a lot of training in plant science, or I did also animal science, nutritions, just to be aware what is around the opportunity that I can have or which field I want to choose. And at the end, I choose health science. Then after I graduated with my master's, I take 6 years. I took 6 years to go to industry.
Wow.
So there I was working as a lab scientist. So I was involved in USIG projects where our job was to go in the field, sampling bat, rodent, reptile to have some samples and do a molecular characterization of 5 family virus responsible to pandemic or hemorrhagic fever. So I spent 6 years in the lab doing as well sampling, DNA, RNA extraction, cDNA synthesis, PCR, rate-time PCR, um, Sanger sequencing, and also analyzing some sequence coming from this sequence genomic server. I don't know. So our job was just to go through the sample processing until sending the sample and then receiving sequence. And then we were using some web tools to try to read, to clean, to analyze. But that was not my first time to face. I mean, is kind of bioinformatics. Like if you move from a nucleotide and then you are able to transform it and to binary numbers and try to understand what is or read through the genome. I mean, that is already a bioinformatics because you are using maybe mathematics on informatics to try to understand a biomarker such as nucleotide or protein and something else like that. So just for the break, I will come back. I will come back to that one. So after that, so after spending 6 years on working, why I was also looking for opportunity to do a PhD.
Mhm.
So I started too early to look for opportunity grant scholarship. But before that, I start on my own way writing project to also have like a funding.
Mm.
It wasn't a lot. It wasn't successful because I needed a lot of. I needed a mentor. I needed a supervisor. So there was a lot of challenge. But beside that, I got opportunity to to receive a GED in region scholarship for a
Mm,
PhD program that bring me here in South Africa at Stellenbosch University to do my PhD in molecular biology
mm,
on the tuberculosis genomic. So I'm actually ending my program. Actually, I have submitted already my thesis. So I'm just
nice.
waiting a feedback for examinator and also
Congratulations.
oh, it's not yet, but it's fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, what I did in my thesis was using a lot of tools like whole genome
Sorry.
sequencing, whole genome sequencing, and some bioinformatics pipeline to try to understand and read, try to find some answer of my specific research question that I have for my thesis. I don't know. I'm married. If I don't know if still I'm married. I'm not single. What I like coffee. I like travel. That's why I choose being researcher because we travel a lot and we meet a lot of beautiful people. Um, I like food. Also like cooking because it's helped me a lot when I'm stressing. Um,
Yeah.
what else?
Yeah, we can talk
Mm,
about this over time.
mm.
So
So
maybe
that's
I can,
me.
yeah, maybe I can start with some questions already for you that I have
Yeah.
here. So first of all, let me pick you up on coming back to PhD after 6 years. Why did you come back? Is it because of money or because you like science or why?
I think is because first because of taking a leadership position and
Mm,
also carry out a project.
mm.
And then money is something that is necessary for our living.
True.
Um, and also because of try to know more, try to
Mm,
earn more knowledge. Yeah.
mm. So let's just say you were passionate.
Yeah. Yes.
I see. So, just a question. What do you think about, it's more like a question from me, but um, should I say that you are able to progress or get to the top of the career ladder better with a PhD or with a master's is even enough?
Yeah. With the PhD, you are able to climb
Mm,
easily. You are able to go alone
mm,
and face your own challenge and write your own project.
mm,
Um, but it's not like directly when you have a PhD, you will do that because after the PhD, there's a certain moment that you should also learn
mm,
from mentee, from mentors,
mm,
from some PI, how to
mm,
manage, how to earn money, how to write grants,
mm,
how to manage finance,
mm.
how to create collaborations. I
Mm.
know you can do it even being a master's because
Okay.
what I always advise some of my young brother and sister is even you have a bachelor degree, you have to be curious of what the elder are doing in the lab. If you
Mm,
think that that is the way that you want to choose, the way that you want to choose to be a researcher.
mm,
So what I did when I was in my bachelor degree or university level 3, I was working as assistant to a PhD student from
mm,
my lab, my department, and that's why I learned a lot of stuff
mm.
in diverse field. So yeah.
Okay. Just one question. Would you encourage young students of nowadays? Okay. I'll come to you, Richard, very soon. Would you encourage young students of nowadays to study for their PhD in Africa or South Africa, for example?
Um, I think it will depend on what it will depend on your planned career.
Mm, okay.
It also will depend on how you want to develop your career as a
Mm,
researcher.
okay.
So um, if, for example, I would take three persons, the first one want money, right?
Mm,
He can also have a PhD and
mm-hmm,
then do another training, like choosing clinical trial,
mm,
choosing something, other field that has a lot of money,
mm-hmm,
like pharmaceutical field and vaccinology. So
mm-hmm,
there's some field. Then there's another one who like doing science to understand mechanism
mm,
of physiology.
mm,
He won't move out from the industry. He can
mm,
definitely stay in the lab or staying in the academic
mm,
or doing both like academic and industry. And
mm.
also now there's another one who want to teach.
Ah, I see.
So now he can stay in academic to do that.
Mm, okay.
So for me, if you don't want to do research, you should stop at a master's,
Okay.
and then you can have other training to do your work.
Mm,
But after the master's is research. Yeah.
mm. Okay. I'll quickly take Richard's question.
Um, Good evening from Ghana, Justice.
Good evening.
Yeah. So I want to ask, during your journey, was it very smooth, or there were disappointments, up and downs, and all that? Can you tell us more about that? And if you faced disappointment, how did you deal with um, those situations?
Thank you for your questions. There's always disappointment and there's always uh, a moment of joy, a moment of succeed, and also there's always a moment where you are stressing, where you're sad. It, for me, I usually face it. So like you can wake up early in the morning and you don't want anymore to do go to the lab, read some articles, write some articles, chasing grant, doing things like that. So how I'm dealing with is like, for example, I like cooking. So if I want to repair this mode, like to move myself inside this mode, like I can cook first, and also I can put myself around people who think positively, so I recharge myself
Mm,
energetically.
mm,
Like I know there's people always in the building, in the department, they they have inspirations, and you can just work with them one day and then you are recharged. Other things also travel. Um, Staying at home too much is not nice. So when there's disappointment, like I choose sometimes to take a car and then go probably to the beach, visit some people. And disappointment is something that we have in our life who always remind us that we are human beings. So um, what you could do is just stop, look at this side and look other side where you can earn. Like, for example, if today you're not in the mood, try to do something else awaiting your comeback. I know it's something like there's a caveat behind that because you can leave and never come back anymore. So I don't know if I answer your questions,
Mhm.
but also you can also visit your nephew, small cousin, grandmothers, talk to your family, um, visit people that always giving you or remind you that you are very important in this life and you can still wake up and fight.
Yeah.
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 Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, disappointment is probably an important aspect of PhD. Nobody will tell you. Okay. So let's quickly dive into the application procedure. For example, to get into uh, okay, so this question is actually divided into two phases. But first, let's talk about the application procedure in South Africa. I will come back to the DAAD scholarship because I think this is one scholarship that it's from the German government, if I'm correct. So,
Yes.
yeah, but then I'll come to that. But then let's talk about the the application procedure. So, is it like you have to wait for an application time or application phase or an application cycle before you apply, or you can apply at any time? Can you also write to professors in South Africa if you want to join their group? Yeah, basically, how does the application thing work? How do I, if I want to get a PhD in South Africa, for example, how do I start?
Okay. So you meant like application for master and PhD, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, apply when you are looking for a master is different when you are applying when you want to do a PhD.
Okay.
But I will try to find like common word. So first, you need to know the program first.
Mm,
There's several program. They have several program like there's DAD, there's OWSD, there's Mastercard,
mm,
um, there's even your country can have a partnership with South Africa and
mm,
then you come to study here. So you have to understand the program that you want to apply. But
mm,
before that is the first thing you should do is to plan what you want to be or which project do you want to do, which field do you want to do your program.
mm,
To know that now, you have to go first to the university website
mm,
and go to the department, try to see all the PI or head of research group, and then try to read their research interests. It's based on that you can now put yourself that, okay, I'm interested of doing this, so I'm going to write to this prof. But you can't just write because you have to come with the project behind. So by yourself, you have to start to learn how to write a proposal.
mm,
You
mm,
write something based on what they are doing, or you can email him and say, I want to work with you on this, on this, on this. And then I saw you open in this area. I'm really interested about it. I read like 2 or 4 of your papers, and I think I'm able to do this part. And also you share your CV, because most of the time the application is also competitive.
Mm.
So you need to have a strong background. And yeah, the other thing is articles.
Mm.
So to increase your chance to have to that your application has to be accepted, you also need to have an article, like some publications,
Mm.
because most of the time some you will find there's several type of supervisor. Those who like can train you how to write a paper, can train you how to do things, and those who doesn't have time, you see, but they have money, but they need someone who is already ready,
Mm.
who knows how to write a paper, who knows how to lead his own research. So for me, for the beginning, try to do like a literature review, or try also if you want to do a master's. I mean, maybe you're coming from your bachelor or your honors, or you want to do another master's. Try to write something to increase your chance to be accepted.
Mm.
So now for the time, the first time you are not aware about the session of
Mm.
call applications is based on the different program,
Mm.
but you have to go to their website,
Okay.
and you also have to plan, because
Mm.
you don't think that your first attempt will be successful, but be prepared for the second one.
Mm.
Like I remember myself, I applied for practically 600,
600
sending
applications.
email, and then yeah, like sending email looking for supervisor,
Mm.
and then apply on specific field that I was looking for, not 600 for us South Africa.
Ah,
Like
okay, okay.
I'm
In
counting, yeah,
total.
and
Okay.
in total. So I was surprised, like one day an email came and just telling me that, okay, I apply for this program. And I was also surprised that, did I apply for these programs? Because I apply a lot. So I forgot some of them, that sometimes the application can spend 1 year,
Mm.
but you still need to keep applying.
Mm.
So what I used to do is, you have a calendar, okay, DD used to open for application between February to October. You write it down somewhere. And
Mm.
then you look another folder. You write it down somewhere. You write it
Mm.
down somewhere. The first year will be chaotic, yes, but the second year you will be systematic, like automatically you will apply, and then you improve yourself on what
Mm.
you are doing. For those who are lucky, you can also around yourself with
Mm.
mentors who
Yeah.
can support you. For your application, you need also referee, some professor and doctors that you you always talk or exchange with them at the university, because during your application, they will always ask you recommendation letters, something like that. Sometimes they need an email for someone who knows you, like as a lecturer, or
Mm.
who knows you as your head of department, something like that. What else again? I think I answered all the question. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would quickly, this will be the last one on graduate school application, but I'd like you to talk about the DAAD scholarship. I think it's a very popular scholarship, but I don't know many people that have won it. It's usually very difficult. Yeah, I think it's also very prestigious. So can you talk about this DAAD scholarship and maybe any of the things that you know about it that can make an applicant successful?
What I know about a DAD scholarship is a funding coming from Germany authorities,
Mm,
and they have like two branch. You have in country and in region. So in
okay.
country sometimes is like you apply,
Mm-hmm.
you're still on your country, and then you have connection with another supervisor in Germany. I don't know.
Mm,
Yeah, I think, yeah. And then in regions means you leave your country in Africa. Like for example, I left Cameroon to go and study in South Africa.
mm,
So they used to finance masters and PhD, but I don't know
mm.
if in South Africa now is only a master student.
Oh, okay.
In my program that I was doing, because they have a lot of opportunities.
Okay.
They have PhD programs full time in Germany.
Mm,
They have also a sandwich one, like you already have your own home university and then you are looking for another supervisor in Germany. So you
mm.
can do like 6 months in Germany and 6 months
Okay.
in your country. They also have a short stay for 3 months, for
Mm,
6 months,
mm,
just like you're studying at home and then you don't have like, for example, a platform to analyze your sequence. You
mm,
contact someone in Germany to go and learn for
mm-hmm.
6 months. They also have a postdoc.
Oh.
After a PhD, you can also do a postdoc.
And they will fund a
So
postdoc.
yes.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting.
Um, so it's what I know.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, but
I think
that's a
people,
lot of information already. I mean, many people don't even know that I don't even know that there is a master's version and there is a PhD version. So now I think people know that there is opportunity to do both. Yeah, and
and they
the
have
yeah,
they
go ahead.
also have like a program for professional like entrepreneurs.
Oh,
So you have your
okay.
own business and then they give you opportunity to spend like 1 year um in Germany to learn how the
Mm,
business is running, things like
okay,
that.
okay. So yeah, maybe the what I would tell people is still go to the website, right? Check
Yes, yes,
the
yes.
website and you get a
Exactly.
lot of information there. You get a lot of information there.
Yeah.
It's interesting to know that there are multiple versions of it. For me, I used to think everybody is you always have to travel to Germany to. I have heard about this short stay, but I don't know how it works. You know, yeah, but yeah, and nice to know that the
It works.
yeah.
It works, the short stay.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that you need is a supervisor or
Mm,
someone that you can create a collaboration in
mm,
Germany and at any university
mm.
there,
Okay.
and then you apply.
Yeah. Okay. There's a question here quickly. If you can answer it, it will be fine. Is it possible to contact a professor to ask to work with them on a bioinformatics project online, knowing that I don't have a professional degree in bioinformatics, only basic knowledge or skills and a PhD in microbiology?
I think everything is possible. It's research and
Yeah.
is I think university is the only area where you learn from you learn like
Mm.
you also it's also possible for you to fail,
Okay.
you see, because you are doing experiment and
Yeah.
is during your failure or when you are failing that you have some breakthrough or some idea. So it depends on the supervisor.
Mm,
There's some supervisor they only want professional.
mm,
The other supervisor they like doing a B2B educations, like they
mm.
want to see you every day and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
work
Yeah,
with you, like.
yeah.
And yeah, you can also find someone with who you work remotely.
Mm,
But most of the time, the program need you to be in the country where you will receive the scholarship.
okay, okay, okay. Yeah. Then let's quickly get into career opportunities in antimicrobial resistance and genomic epidemiology. First of all, can you just expose us to the career opportunities generally, either in Africa or outside Africa or anywhere in the world for genomic epidemiology and AMR? I know there's a lot of work going on at the African Union about genomic epidemiology right now. There is also this new institute that was announced in South Africa, this African Bioinformatics Institute, just recently. And one of their key topics is pathogen genomics and epigenomic. So, yeah, can you tell us about the career landscape and what's happening in genomic epidemiology?
Thank you. Genomic epidemiology is a new field because
Mm,
we uh, we start to seeing that the sequencing
mm,
price start to decrease.
mhm,
So at the time, maybe after 30 years, we will have a lot of data, a
mm,
lot of DNA sequence, a lot of RNA sequence. We will have a bunch of data.
mm,
So for me is a field for the future because if we are taking example from COVID,
mhm,
uh, watching Western televisions, there was always tracking the evolution. And
mm.
watching Africa televisions, we were always following what the Western was publishing
Yeah, true.
because there was like lack of sequencer or platform,
Mm,
and the response was also slow. But
mm,
if we have a team with bioinformatician or genomic epidemiologist that will easily and quickly like interpret like the evolutions, giving datas. I think the response for the next outbreak will be much quicker and
mm,
we will save a lot of people.
mm.
So there's always opportunity, but the opportunity is building based on the program, based on the
Mm,
project.
mm,
And it also depend, you can be doing a genomic epidemiology, but
mhm,
now you need to focus in a specific disease,
mm.
infectious disease. And focusing on TB is different when you're focusing malaria.
Yeah,
It's
true.
parasite.
Mm,
The other guys is bacteria. Okay, let's talk to bacteria. Focusing on TB is different when you are focused on E. coli, for
yeah.
example. E. coli has plasmid.
Mm,
TB doesn't have plasmid.
Mhm.
So for me, when I'm doing my sequencing, I'm only focused on the genomic chromosome
mm,
of TB. But when you are doing the sequencing for E. coli, there's plasmid, there's genomic chromosome. So
mm,
there's several things. There's a lot of mutation that is happening.
mm,
So there's a lot of opportunities, but
mm,
you need to find your way or need to be interested on something.
mm.
There's another field that we are calling One Health.
Yeah, yeah,
One
yeah.
Health is something very important. So being a genomic epidemiologist will give you a lot of opportunity because people need them to analyze the data, to read through the nucleotide and give some answer that we are looking for. Now I don't know about salary. I don't know about
It's
so
fine.
there's a lot. I don't know really, but what I know is that we have a lot of work. We have a lot of work. We have, for example, there's some part they are looking for future outbreak.
Yeah,
Other
predictive.
part they are fighting because there's also outbreak. There's monkeypox. There's Lassa virus. There's
Yeah.
always, and there's other people who are looking for past outbreak. So it depends where you put yourself and you'll find opportunity.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's the point. I basically just want to motivate because we have a branch in our internship. It's focused on AMRs, and yeah, it's a new field. I mean, AMR is not new in itself, but there is a very heavy surge in the demand for skilled AMR scientists. And
Yes.
one more thing I would just like to talk about is the role of bioinformatics in all of this, in this genomic epidemiology thing. Do you think bioinformatics is important? And if it is, what are like the skills that you think a bioinformatician should have so that they can have impact in this field? Or basically, you can just tell us your own bioinformatics skill set, and yeah, I think that's a landing template for anybody who wants to get to your position.
Okay. The first time that I used something like feeling I'm doing a bioinformatics, it was in 2015.
Wow,
Um, I
it's a long
was I
time.
was I was doing a technique that we call as polygotyping is molecular hybridizations, and you
Mm,
have how to call it again? Probe. You have probe is
mm,
something like a tissue, and then you hang it somewhere, and then you have a dot.
mm,
After that, when you have a dot, now the black dot means one, not dot means zero. And then you see
mm,
1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0, and then you submit it somewhere. And then
mhm.
when you submit it, you now receive like a species that you characterize. And then after
Oh,
that, you do your phylogenetic tree and something like that. That was
mm.
my first time. And then
That is
I
hardcore raw genomics.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was what we were doing.
Mm,
So after that, I I was appointed as a teaching assistant,
mm,
and my work was also to help one of my professor on bioinformatics, but it was a basic like introduction of bioinformatics.
mm,
Know about database, um, knowing that there's generalist database and there's specialized database. In
mm,
specialized database, you have database only for proteins, database only for nucleotide, database for short nucleotide. So learning these things. And then there was also some uh, symbol that we were also giving as lecture to student,
mm,
like Boolean symbol and or
mhm,
not, just to precise your request in the research motors. Like for example, if you are using Google and then you put justice and 2029, you
mm,
specifically have a response on all things talking about justice only in 2029.
mm.
So that kind of things that we were doing. Then your question was about
Yeah, the
um
role of bioinformatics in
the role of bioinformatics in AMR.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. like I was saying, now uh, there's a lot of worry about Emma.
Mm,
Emma going together with One Health.
mm,
So you can treat a cow who can have a resistance, and
mhm,
that resistance can be linked to the resistance that some specific patient
mm,
could have. So a bioinformatics here help us a lot, like by shortening um, the time that we could take to
mm,
understand the link.
mm,
So bioinformatics is also important because um, having a lot of data,
mhm.
try to manage them manually will be very difficult. But using some command line will allow you to easily understand and quickly understand
Mm.
your data. And as I was saying, there's uh, cheap, I think, sequencing. There's DNA
Yeah, sequencing
sequencing,
is
RNA
sequencing is cheap now.
sequencing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of big data that you have.
Mm,
And we won't able now to do it by ourselves. So we need now mathematics, we need statistics, and
mhm,
we need informatics
mm,
to do it. We need a super calculators
mm.
to also give us answer quickly. So what do you need to do bioinformatics? I'm not yet a bioinformatician. I'm not a bioinformatician.
Okay.
What am I is an hybrid.
Okay.
What I'm saying it's because I like being in the middle. I'm interested about uh, the vocabulary that a bioinformatician and a scientist in the lab has in common. So I like being in the middle where I can understand the both part and try to translate by giving them the right information because um, most of the time a bioinformatician is hardcore computer science,
Mhm,
computational science,
mhm,
informatics, mathematics, and then you only have like 10 or 5% on a biology, how the
mm,
cell is doing. There's a limit. And the other side, you have a biologist. You also try to understand there's always a limit.
mhm.
So for me, I just put myself in the middle and try now to give them or to understand the both part.
Yeah.
So but I'm not yet finished. I'm continuing. So it's learning,
Yeah, yeah, true.
like you're
Learning
progressing, yeah.
continues. Yeah.
So what you can do if you're interested to do a bioinformatics is try to not master, but to understand
Mm,
statistics,
mm,
to understand data science,
mm,
um, to understand probabilities,
mm.
but it's mathematics. So this part. I think also
What
will
about
it
the
be the
computer science?
physics?
What about the computer part as well?
Yeah,
Programming, Linux, this kind of
programming.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Also, I think programming is mathematics. Yeah, you
Mhm,
have also to have like a background on programmings and also biology, specifically molecular biology and cellular.
mm, mm. Yeah. Yeah,
So
I fascinated. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
you won't be a full bioinformatician because bioinformatics is like working in group. So you have
Mm,
someone who will clean the data, will
mhm,
arrange them as well,
mhm,
do a descriptive statistics, and
mm,
then you have someone who will be here just to try to write script
mm,
to make the other people easy, their life very easy. Because sometimes you need a script to to answer or to try to sort out a challenge. Like for example, during my thesis, I found that there was a lot of duplicate.
Mm.
Then my question was, which sequence am I going to use now?
Yes.
Am I going to check sequence per sequence? And I had 3,000 sequence. So if I start today, how long it
Yeah.
will take for me to finish?
Mm.
So, but there's always some genius close to you can give you, or you can also do your own script.
Mm.
And then you sort out your challenge.
Mm.
And the other part is also statistics. Because after having result, you have to make sure that your results are good
Mhm.
based on the statistic that you apply. Because if you choose a wrong test, you give a wrong answer.
Yeah.
So if you say, okay, I'm not strong I can master statistics, you
Mm.
need someone who is best on statistics.
Mm.
So most of the time it's a group. It's not like in the movie that you find someone is genius, is doing statistics, is doing everything, is writing a code, is doing tools. No, there's also is like being a biologist, and then some people are learning anatomy, some other learning other things. So
Mm.
bioinformatics is a huge field where there's sub domain inside.
Mm. Mm. Yeah. Okay. That was my last question. But then I think I definitely agree with you on the point of being in the middle. That's the wet and the dry lab, being a bioinformatician and being a biologist at the same time. I mean, that's why it is bioinformatics. It's not informatics and it's not biology. So by the word itself, it's like a mixture of the two, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
the funny thing is that with the time you don't know if you are a biologist or a bioinformatician because
yeah,
you are
yeah,
feeling being rejected by both parts. So
exactly. Exactly. Okay. Thanks a lot. I think we are on time. Yeah, and I think I cleared all the questions that I got. Yeah, so thank you very much, Justice, for honoring our call. I believe a lot of the students
thank
have
you
been
also.
inspired by your talk and your inspiration and your motivation. You also told us about your cooking skills, and we appreciate that as well. Yeah. So yeah, on this note, we
Thank
would like
you.
to call it a day for today. But then, thank you very much for honoring our
Thank
invitation,
you.
and yeah. We really appreciate you. And on behalf of the entire interns and the AgBio team, I say thank you once again. Have a
Thank you
nice
also.
weekend ahead. Yeah.
Likewise, and
Yeah.
thank you for everybody.
Yeah.
My last word is never give up
Yeah.
what you are doing. Yeah.
Never give up, guys. That's the keyword. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.